Friday, everybody. You're listening to Angelica Cheyenne, the Chocolate Diva. It is all good in my neighborhood because I am joined by a dope artist. Not only is his lyrics really real, but he's also a saint. I welcome Saint Knick Gunna XIII.
What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm doing all right today. And yourself?
I'm doing fabulous. And I see you are looking real chill. He actually, y'all, he was early. So he is very courteous.
Yeah, tried to be professional, you know.
Extremely. Now, for my Fridays, I like to start off my Fridays with a fun fact about my guests. So tell everybody something unique about yourself.
Well, I guess I'm living in LA right now, but I'm actually from New Orleans, Louisiana. I spent a lot of time out here, my childhood summers. So I'm like a fusion of New Orleans and LA, kind of all put in a pot together.
Now, I know we were talking about this earlier, that you are from New Orleans, and like you said, you came out here in the summers. What was like the most fun thing you did out here every summer when you was a kid?
I like the beach.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't really have that in New Orleans. I mean, it's surrounded by water, but we didn't really have that type of that beach atmosphere. We didn't have like sand or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So when I was little, that was probably the most memorable thing, was going to the beach, Venice Beach, seeing all the crazy people out there. I got a lot of pictures and old home videos, you know what I'm saying, that my people took when I was, when we went out there. So that was probably like the most memorable times that I had when I was out here.
Right. Do you swim? Can you swim?
Yeah, I can swim.
Okay, because
it's a lot of grown people that can't swim.
Yeah.
A lot. I got a few homies and I'm like, look, y'all need to learn. It's like, what I'm saying, y'all up in age and y'all don't know how to swim. But yeah, I know how to swim. I actually want to learn how to surf and everything.
Really?
Yeah, so I won't go like over the top with it.
Okay, so if you could surf anywhere in the world, where would you want to surf at?
Man, that's a good one. I mean, I won't go wherever they got like the biggest waves. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just a daredevil, so wherever they got like the biggest waves, that's where I won't go at.
But you're not scared of sharks though, because I know like the further you swim out in the ocean.
I'm scared of sharks, because I'm scared of sharks when I go to the beach out here. But I mean, I don't know. I still want to like surf the biggest waves.
Okay, so you definitely are a daredevil.
Yeah.
Now, why did you decide to come back to LA and like live out here?
It was just something that I always wanted to do from a kid. Like I said, I have a lot of family out here. I really don't have that much family in New Orleans. And another thing about New Orleans, it's a beautiful city, but I guess when you've been there your whole life, you kind of outgrow it. You know what I'm saying? It got to the point where I felt like I was a big fish in a little pond. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of wanted to go somewhere else where I could reach my full potential. And it's just like, like I say, it's a beautiful city, but it also has a lot of negative aspects to it, especially being from the streets or whatnot. So I just needed like a new scenery, you know what I'm saying? So I just came out here.
Yeah. Now, how does LA differ the most from New Orleans?
I mean, it's a lot of ways. One way it differs, like pertaining to the industry, is like, in New Orleans, it's like a crab in a bucket type of mentality.
Yeah.
And that's like with music, with business, with pretty much anything. It's kind of evolving now, but from the era where where I came from, it was always like crabs in a bucket, and people weren't really prone to work with other people outside of their immediate circle. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed in LA, like, it's easier to network with people, like, because a lot of people from LA not originally from LA. They moved out here just like how I did, and everybody has a lane that that they in, or something that they trying to chase. So they just always out to meet the next person and see what it is they do, and link with them and network with them. So that's one mentality that's real different, and it's something I had to kind of get adjusted to, because I was just so stuck in this New Orleans mentality, like, I'm only rocking with my dudes, you know what I'm saying, my homies, you know what I'm saying, because it's just, I don't know, it's kind of like it's kind of way, a survival kind of tactic or whatever. You don't really like deal with people outside of your immediate circle, you know what I'm saying. But now it's to the point where now, like I try to, my main thing is when I get up in the morning, I try to start as many conversations with as many strangers as I can, just to see, it don't matter whatever type of walk of life they come from, just to see what's their aim, what's their lane, you know what I'm saying? And and I could probably network with them, you know.
And that's true. You know, when you think of New Orleans, you think of, the big stars like Cash Money and all of that, and No Limit, and you think everyone pretty much is like a family like unit.
Right.
And ironically, people think LA it's more of a cliquey type of thing. So do you think that's your personal experience that you were able to network easier, or that is generally just how LA is?
It's probably a mixture of both. You know what I'm saying? I feel like out here people are more drawn to things that are foreign. So because
No, it's okay. That was just my videographer's camera. It's okay. Everyone pause. Look, we all good. We're going to keep it rolling. No, continue. Everyone's eyes bugged out like, Lord, it's good. This is the studio. Go ahead.
right. Damn, what I was saying? I feel like it's like a mixture of both, because I feel like out here, you know, people are more attracted to things that are foreign. So for the simple fact that I'm not from here,
okay,
you know, and because I'm from New Orleans and people kind of have this mystique about New Orleans, and you know, it's easier for me to network, you know. But even on top of that, like people are just more, I guess, friendly, you know.
Okay,
you know.
In regards to you, because I do agree with that. When you're not from LA, people wonder about you. It's like, oh, you're a unicorn,
right?
Especially when you're coming from such a big place like New Orleans, with some like rap legends come out of that place, a lot of them. So for you, what did you first learn when you got to networking in LA? Like, what are the do's and don'ts of networking here compared to New Orleans?
The do's and don'ts. I don't know. Like I said, I'm still kind of in a trial period, so I'm still learning.
you figuring it out.
But I have noticed that they have a lot of people that you may run across, and they kind of up themselves and say, I'm doing this, I'm working with this person, and it's like it's just all smoke and mirrors. Like you know, when you get down to it, and they just basically just running off at the mouth. So you gotta kind of learn how to weed these type of people out. You know what I'm saying? So you're not just wasting your time.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's just something I had to kind of learn for myself.
And it's good that you're still working on that, because like you said, networking is a process. It's never really any cookie cutter way to do it. It's just getting where you fit in.
Right.
Now, to your name, Saint Knick Gunna. That is one of the longest and dopest names I've heard for a rapper, and I'm assuming your mother did not name you that. No. So how did you get that name?
Well, my government name is Nicholas.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I guess growing up, like they always had, I was never the only Nicholas in my class. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I kind of wanted to change it. So I just changed the spelling of it. I just put a K on top of it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the K is silent. So kind of like the New York Knicks. I did that. Gunna is just like a kind of name I earned in the streets, you know, like, you know, from my hood. My partners, you know, was calling me that. So for the longest, my rap name was just Knick Gunna.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then, I don't know. It got to a point maybe like a year or two ago, I kind of wanted to put like another twist on it. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like I got to a point in my life where, you know, a lot was changing, you know, from the inside, you know, and I kind of saw it as like I was going through a rebirth. And so, I mean, I felt like because I was reborn again, you know, it's like I almost died and came back alive as a saint, you know what I'm saying? So I just put the saint on top of it, and the 13 on the end is just, because that's the ward I'm from, the area.
Right.
You know, we have New Orleans is divided into different wards, and I'm from the 13th ward. So I thought it'd be cool to put like the 13 on the end of it, kind of like King Louis the 13th. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Something like that. So it's like, it's just a big long thing. Saint Knick Gunna the 13th. Like some people call me Nick, some people call me Gun, some people call me Saint. You know, it's like, you know, whatever floats your boat. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah. It's like you put in your entire life story into your name.
Into a name.
Now, when it comes to your name, and you said you went through a period where you felt like you were reborn, what was that time for you where you felt like you went through a major change?
The first major change that I went through was in 2008. I actually lost my older sister and my nephew in a car wreck. Then like a couple months later, I lost my mom to colon cancer. And then I lost my dad to a heart attack. So that all happened in like a 12-month period, you know. So I would say that was the beginning stage of the rebirth, you know, because that's a lot of losses, you know, to handle in such of a short amount of time.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was the first thing. And then in 2011, I lost my best friend. You know, he got murdered. And right after that, then I caught this charge And so I was like on the run for a while, and then while I was on the run, my first no, actually I was on the run, and then my girlfriend at the time, she got pregnant, and so you know, it's my firstborn, and I couldn't even get to see him you know, his birth because I was in jail. So it's like just a mixture of all these different things, you know. It kind of eventually led to a rebirth of me as a person.
That's heavy, and I'm sorry for your losses. And how did you get through that? I mean, that's major to lose so many loved ones so quickly. What was the mourning process for you?
That's a good question. Like, I mean, you never know what you can handle until you actually go through it. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, all you can do is keep moving forward. You know, I don't really like to dwell on the past. Like, everybody deals with, everybody grieves differently. You know what I'm saying? They mourn differently. You know, I'm the type of person, like, of course, you know, it's gonna hurt, you know, and I kind of deal with it and do what I have to do to let that hurt out. But at the end of the day, you know, you just got to keep moving forward. You know, life is, you know, it's steady going. You know what I'm saying? You can't let nothing stop you. That's how I feel. So I always kind of have a positive outlook towards the future, and I don't really dwell on the past. You know, whatever the, and then I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, like, because when you lose people, you have a lot of questions. Like, you might question, you know, I question God a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? You know, because it got to the point where you know, I was praying, you know, I brought up, you know, Catholic and Baptist, so I, you know, every night I prayed, but it's like a lot of things I was praying for, I wasn't getting them. And not only was I not getting them, but it was like, I was getting like the backlash, like I was getting it reversed. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you just got to trust that everything happens for a reason. You might lose something or somebody and just question it, like, why? But at the end of the day, it's like, it's beauty in every struggle. Like, you might have lost somebody because you depended on this person too much. So you know, you had to lose, the universe caused you to lose this person so you could become independent, you know, and learn how to spread your wings. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you just got to find a beauty in every struggle. You know what I'm saying? It's all about your perspective. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's basically how, you know, I get through my trials and tribulations.
That's a very optimistic way and profound way to look at it. And I'm sure that took you a moment to get to that point. Yeah. So how long did it take you to come to that realization? You know, it
took some years. You know, like I said, I kind of had a lot of constant setbacks. You know, I was stuck in the streets for a long time. And I just feel like, you know, whatever I went through, it never changed me as a person. It never changed my character. You know, it never changed my morals. But it did take a while for me to actually understand it, because for a long time, you know, when you're dealing with things, you may become lost and just like confused. Yeah. You know, and it's like sometimes like all you can do is just keep moving forward until you get the answers. You know, not really question it, just kind of have faith. Right. You know, and I don't want to sound like I'm preaching. You know, because like, you know, for the longest, like I was questioning all these things, and you know, and I was actually, you know, seeking answers from, you know, a higher power or whatever, and it was just like it got to a point I just kind of like toned it all out, like turned it all out. Yeah. Like, you know, I don't hear that, you know, it don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? But like now I'm getting to a point, you know, where I'm actually building like faith. You know what I'm saying? Building it back up, you know what I'm saying? And ever since I've started doing that, you know, things have been, you know, looking better for me.
And I'm glad, I'm very happy for you that you're getting to a better place. And with age comes wisdom, or it should at least. Now, in a few of your songs, you refer to yourself as a pretty boy. And I'm here to say he's very attractive, y'all. But when people first see you and you don't say nothing, when people just look at you, what's the first thing people assume about you?
Well, since I've been out here, actually, you know, like I said, I got a lot of family. My cousins and stuff, they always tell me, because I said, I don't want to get, like, I came out here, you know, I came from the streets of New Orleans. The last thing I want to do is come out here and get involved with any type of street activity. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all got the gangs.
Yeah, we do.
You know what I'm saying? But they was like, well, you don't really have to worry about that because you look like a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, cool. That's cool with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's perfectly fine. But, like, yeah, a lot of people, when they first see me, the first impression, they think like I'm kind of quiet and shy, but most of my close friends know it's the exact opposite of that with me. And they do take me for like, you know, the pretty boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, and then when they do, I guess, you know, see the street side or, you know, the kind of rugged side, it kind of takes them by surprise. You know what I'm saying? So I do get that a lot. Like, you know, I'm just a little quiet.
It's always a quiet one, but I will say you do look very skater chic. You know what I'm saying? So I can see what they mean by that. Yeah, hip for sure. That's like the big thing over in California being a hipster. But for yourself, like, what was kind of when you got into rap as a pretty boy, how was that for you? How did you go against people in the rap field?
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, New Orleans is pretty small, so everybody knows everybody. So it's like, kind of before I actually took rap seriously, I kind of had like a name for myself in the street. So a lot of people kind of were already kind of familiar with me. So it wasn't really an issue like that. But it got to a point where I kind of had a makeover. Like I used to have long dreads.
Really?
So like way down here. And I cut my hair and I just grew my hair back like this. So then like I kind of reintroduced myself, and then after that period, like a lot of people that met me, then they would come with like he's a pretty boy. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But I mean, I don't know. I pride myself on versatility.
Right.
I don't want it to be boxed in. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like it's a lot of different lanes that I could travel. And if you want to label me a pretty boy, I could take that. But I can also,
right.
do this and I can do that and I can do this and do that. So, I don't really trip on it.
It is good that you have a lot of sides to you. Now, you talk a lot about being from the streets, and we've covered it somewhat right now, but I want to delve more into that. How did you get into the streets? Like, what was the street life for you?
To be honest, like I didn't even have to. I ain't gonna say I didn't have to, but I was always, around that street element. But I was like a good student in school. I went to college. I graduated. I had a full tuition to UNO, the University of New Orleans. I started college, but it was just certain things that I had going on at home that kind of put me in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And then like after I got in the street, I kind of just had to learn. You know what I'm saying? And so, the neighborhood I'm from it's called the 13th Ward. You know what I'm saying? It's Valence and Magnolia is the street corner. You familiar with BG? I'm from the same, one of the hot boys.
Okay,
yeah. Yeah, the same street corner as him. And it's like, just like most neighborhoods in New Orleans, it's real rough. We had that title as the murder capital for a long time, and it's just real rough, and the crime is just real condensed because it's such of a small city. So just being in that element, you just kind of have to learn, how to survive, and that's basically, what I did. And like I said, I was in the streets for a long time, and I lost a lot of friends. I lost my best friend. I lost countless other friends. And at the end of the day, I just took all those lessons, you know what I'm saying, and I used them, just stored them in my brain and just used them to, to survive, to learn from somebody else's lessons. If somebody died because of this reason, all right, well, I know, look, I ain't doing this. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody went to jail for this, or look, I can't move like that. I ain't doing that like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just took all that, you know what I'm saying, and I feel like I beat the streets. I ain't dead. I ain't in jail.
Yeah.
I ain't even in New Orleans no more to be around it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing to me.
It definitely is a blessing. And do you feel like you got into it more when you lost a family that was close to you?
Yeah, I definitely was in the streets more. Like when I lost my mom, because that was like, me and my mom was like this. Like we was tight. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that was kind of my rock. So without my rock, I'm just floating around. You see what I'm saying? So of course, when I'm floating around, I'm in the streets. So I'm dependent on my partners and people like that. So yeah, it did take a toll. You know what I'm saying?
And that's unfortunate. And like you said, when you're close to a parent, especially your mom, they can keep you out from making mistakes.
Right.
And you definitely be lost if you don't have someone as loving as a mother or any mother figure. Now, what about your dad? Like, how was he instrumental in helping you get past that?
Well, actually, my dad died in September of that year. Now, that was my biological father.
Yeah.
So we had a connection, but it wasn't like my dad who raised me. That's who I really consider my dad. Now he's still alive. He lives in Dallas actually. And I don't know. We had a growing up. I just looked up to him like he was my hero. But I don't know. As I kind of grew to be an adult, and I kind of drifted away, we kind of that relationship kind of went away. You know what I'm saying? So we don't. He wasn't really there to help me. Emotionally. But it is what it is. I still had the utmost respect for him. But I went through everything on my own.
And it seems like it made you even stronger because you came out, on top. Now, why did you start rapping in the first place?
Man, I started rapping in the 8th grade, and The reason why, I'm gonna tell you. I came out here, you know, like I told you, I used to come out here in the summertime.
Yeah.
And this was one summer I got back to New Orleans, and I'm going through my luggage, and one of my cousins, Tupac, All Eyes on Me, cassette tape. I think it was like cassette tape 1, tape A, the first one or whatever. Somehow it got in my luggage. So I'm like, let me listen to this. And so I just listened to, I played it from the front to the back, like nonstop. And I don't know, it was just Pac. He just made me, you know, after that, I got me a little notebook and I started, you know what I'm saying, writing raps down. You feel me? And then like around that time, you know, we had I think Juvenile had kind of came out around that time too.
Yeah.
So he was on the radio in New Orleans, and like he was another artist that made me, you know, because we didn't really have any mainstream artists from New Orleans. We always had like local artists. We had bounce music, but we didn't really have like mainstream artists. And when Cash Money No Limit came out, it just kind of pushed me. It's like it made it seem tangible now. Like, you know, all right, these cats, they from Uptown just like me, you know what I'm saying? And they on the Box TV channel, you know what I'm saying? They on MTV, BT. So it just made it tangible, and it made me want to do it. So ever since then, I just kind of always, you know, was writing raps. But I didn't really take it serious until like my senior year in high school. I was with this group that was some cats that I went to school with, and we had a little group, and I was in a group with them, and then Katrina hit, and then after Katrina we kind of all got split up. So I moved to Atlanta for a little while, and then I kind of like left it alone. And then when I moved back to New Orleans, that's when like the stuff with my mom happened, and so that was like around '08, right around that period. I just kind of left music all alone. Like I just, you know, I was in the streets. I ain't, you know, I wasn't trying to do nothing with music, and I just took it really seriously probably like in 2015.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you was away from the mic for a minute.
Yeah, I was always still writing, and I had, you know, everybody rap. So I had partners that was rapping, and I like, you know, put a verse on their song. You know what I'm saying? Put a verse here. You feel me? Like, you know, because everybody that I came across, they always like, they like my music. You know what I'm saying? Even if it wasn't, I didn't have any major like projects out or nothing like that, but the little that I did do, you know, they took to it well. So, you know, I was still like kind of involved. I just didn't really have anything. I didn't have too much going for myself. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I drop a verse here and there. And then in 2015, that's what I was like, all right, I'm going to get serious. And I shot a video for the song I got called Booming.
Yeah. Yeah, I checked that out.
Yeah, and I just, because I felt like, you know, if I'm a come back into it, I'm a go all the way. So, you know, I like most of my videos, I write the video treatment for it. And I come up with the concepts, and I find somebody to shoot it, and then we just execute it. You know what I'm saying? And ever since then, like I kind of been, you know, taking it more serious, and the momentum has been building. So that kind of keeps me motivated as well. Yeah,
it's good you came back because hip hop needs somebody like you. But also, do you think that had not those tragedies occurred, like Hurricane Katrina, and you losing your family and just life in general, you would have continued on with your music?
Nah, I don't think so.
No.
Like I said, I feel like everything happens for a reason. Like if I had it easy, I'd probably be a L7 square, like sitting in somebody's office right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, I feel like, you know, everything happens for a reason. So, you know, I went through all that to actually lead me to today, me sitting in front of you, you know what I'm saying, at this, you know, radio station.
Yes.
So it just is what it is.
It's good how you believe in the universe and time and everything happens for a reason.
You have to.
You know? Because a lot of times we wonder, like, why is it happening to us? We never really think about the bigger picture.
Right.
You know, for you, everyone has that memory about when they write their first rhyme, like actually on paper. So for you, when did you write your very, very first rhyme? Like actually a full-on song.
Let me see. All right. Now I told you I was writing since like the 8th grade, but I was writing, but I wasn't telling nobody. Like nobody knew.
Right.
I had a notebook with raps, but nobody knew. And I think this was like the 10th grade, and it was like a computer class. And I don't know what happened, but everybody was just like, you know, just joking around in the class, like beating on the table and rapping, and I just came out with my rap. And that was like the first time that people, you know what I'm saying, that I put it out there, like, you know what I'm saying, in the open, that, yeah, all right, you know, I rap too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was the 10th grade, and I believe it was the 12th grade, like the first time I actually recorded something. You know what I'm saying? And that was the beginning of everything. Now,
do you still have that recording from 12th grade?
Nah, man, I wish I did, though. I wish I did. But I don't have that. That's long gone.
Right. Now, in your memory bank, I'm going to ask you to dig back because it's Flashback Friday. when you actually said your first rap and wrote it, what did you feel about it? Like, looking back, like, do you feel like it was good?
Nah. Nah, it wasn't good. Cause like back then, I wasn't rapping like about my truths. You know, I was just rapping like whatever I heard other rappers rapping about. Like, I was rapping about cars and girls. I didn't have no girls. You know what I'm saying? I didn't own not one car. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had no money, but I'm rapping about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Cause that's what I heard. You feel me? So I wanted to be like these other rappers. So I'm just basically imitating them. You know, as far as the content.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, it was garbage. It might have been good back then, you know what I'm saying? But like, I feel like, to be honest, that's how I am with my music. Like, I could record something right now, and then a month later, I'd be like, that's garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I got a project out right now. This is my debut project, and I'm confident. Like, I love it, but I just feel like I'm on something different. Like, I'm always trying to progress. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm always that person. Like, my partners, you know, they always like, oh man, it's still good. But like, if I record a song and I drop it, like a couple weeks, a couple months later, like my mentality is totally different. Like, you know, I'm not even on it. It's still cool, but you know what I'm saying? I just be wanting to like create something new and something fresh and something different. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I always feel like my old stuff, I kind of downplay it, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, I'm just always moving forward, and I always got new ideas, and I just want to, you know what I'm saying, execute those ideas.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I do feel that artists are highly critical of their work, which is good because they get better,
right.
You know, but like you said, sometimes it's just for you personally, you think it's bad. But in reality, it's a bop.
Right.
Like, I feel like if you dig back in the crates, if you do find one of your old songs, you released it, it'll be a hit.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Now, when did you first perform your music? When did you start performing your music?
When did I? All right. The first time I performed was actually it was on TV. No, it wasn't. Was it on TV? It was around, all right, this was like right before Katrina.
Okay.
I think my partner, dude named B Mike, he used to shoot our videos in high school. He was working at a TV station in New Orleans, Fox, and they had like a little local rap show that they did every Saturday, and he kind of plugged us in. And so this was when I was in this group, and we actually performed on TV. And after the first performance, the producers of the TV show, they liked our group, so they wanted to manage us. And after that, they started managing us, and they started booking shows for us, and we actually was performing on this TV show like every Saturday. So yeah, I think that was probably like the first time. I'm not sure if my actual first time performing was on TV or at a venue, but it was all around that same time frame.
Right.
And that was probably like 2004, 2005.
Okay. Yeah. So when you started actually rapping, you started performing pretty quickly. It didn't take much time before you got comfortable to go on stage.
It was a couple of years.
You know. And how did you get comfortable performing? Because were you nervous your first time?
Oh yeah, of course. Sometimes I still get nervous. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I haven't performed in a while. You know, I still get nervous. But yeah, I remember the first TV performance. Like, I was rapping and I barely had the mic to my mouth. Like, like I just looked so awkward. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you know, you gotta find your comfort zone. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So, but I mean, yeah, like now when I perform, especially depending on the crowd, you know, I still get a few butterflies, you know, but once I get in the groove of things, like after the first couple of seconds and I'm in my zone, then it's cool. You know, I feed off the energy of the crowd. It's cool. So I don't, you know, I don't really, you know, I don't remain nervous and just, you know, shaky on stage. Right.
It's cool you're honest about that, because some artists be like, nah, I'm not nervous. Like, I was always ready to be on stage, but it's cool you're not afraid to admit you still get nervous sometimes. Right. Now, how did you get comfortable? What ways do you get comfortable on stage?
Like I said, I just gotta feed off the energy of the crowd. You know, like before I go on stage, like when they kind of prepping my name or whatever, and I'm just sitting backstage or, you know, in the cut, it's kind of, you know, nerve wracking. But once the beat drop and I get on stage and I'm jumping around, and then, like, you know, the people in the front, they jumping around too, you know, then I'm in my zone. I just tune everything out and I'm just, you know, vibing. You feel me? So it's not really too much to even put thought to.
I like that. That's a good answer. Now, do you like performing in New Orleans or LA?
At one point when I was performing a lot in New Orleans, like I was performing at a lot of kind of like open mic type venues, you know what I'm saying, where it's just a bunch of other rappers. singers or whatever. And you got to think, like, when you go to a venue like that, most of the people in the audience is people that came with an artist. You know what I'm saying? So if this artist brought 10 people and this artist brought 10 people and this artist brought 10 people, most of the people in that audience, they there to root for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, New Orleans is a real tough crowd. Like you know, you're not gonna get people just like if they see if somebody performing and they feeling it, they not just off the dump just gonna start dancing and bobbing to it. Like they gonna sit around and watch everybody else to see if they like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I mean, I actually like performing out here better.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like people are more open out here than in New Orleans.
But do you feel like having those tough crowds is what builds you as a performer?
Yeah, it does.
It does.
It does. It definitely does. Because that's something you got to learn how to get, crowd control.
True.
And that's one way to do it. You know what I'm saying? If every time you perform, you got an easy crowd, you're not going to really learn.
Exactly.
But once you got those stiff crowds, you learn what to say, or how to feed off of people's emotions, to get them involved and get them interested. You know what I'm saying? So you do learn from it, but
it's cool to have audiences where they are not afraid to show how much they love your work. Right. As an artist, I bet that's a good feeling to be like, yeah, they really rocking with my stuff. Yeah, that is Now, your album, Saint Knick Gunna XIII, you talk a lot about women hustling the streets, typical hip hop stuff. How much of your personal experiences do you incorporate in your music?
A lot.
Okay.
A lot. I'm a firm believer that your art should be a reflection of reality. You know what I'm saying? And I pride myself on not really exaggerating in my lyrics. Being honest and truthful. You see what I'm saying? So of course my album is a reflection of a lot of my life. You know what I'm saying? And with this album, I feel like I built a foundation for my future. For anything dealing with music, you know what I'm saying? Like I kind of got back to the basics of New Orleans rap, you know what I'm saying, and just touched on a lot of experiences that I had, you know what I'm saying. I just put it in my music.
And how did you become comfortable with doing that? Because I feel like you have to be vulnerable when you do so. So like, how did you become comfortable expressing yourself like that in your music?
I don't know. I wasn't always, I wasn't always like, I may touch on certain things.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't really get in depth, too in depth. You know what I'm saying? Then like another thing is like, when you're talking about street stuff, you can't really get too in depth. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to indict yourself.
Which some rappers have. There's been some rappers that went to jail because they talk too much in their records.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And like, to be honest with you, like BG, you know what I'm saying? Like he's in jail right now, you know what I'm saying? But it kind of stemmed from his case, his conviction kind of stemmed from lyrics in his music. Right. And one of my big homies, from our neighborhood, like certain lyrics, the people, they listen to the government, they listening to that and they gonna digest it and if they feel like they could use it in court,
they will.
They gonna bring it up and use it. You know what I'm saying? So it got to a point where I had to kind of be careful. Like, but I wanted to seem organic. You know what I'm saying? To the people listening to it. You know what I'm saying? I want it to seem genuine. So it's like it's a way you got to kind of balance it to where it's
What's the hardest part about doing that? Because like you said, you don't want to indict yourself, and even so, you don't want to put people on blast,
right?
And stuff like that.
You don't want dry snitch.
Yeah. So like so how do you do that? Like, what was the hardest part about doing that?
It's rough. I ain't gonna lie, cause sometimes I write a verse, and then I be like, man, that verse hard. But then I'm like, shit, I'm gonna have to change some of this stuff. Like I got a song right now that I'm about to drop probably in a week or so, and it's like, it was so raw with the lyrics, but I didn't want to change it. So all I did, I kind of bleeped it out. I pulled like a Kendrick Lamar. He did that on his Good Kid, Mad City. Like a lot of times, because I feel like he was telling like real hood stories.
He was.
And you know what I'm saying? I guess just to keep it genuine and not really change it up, he just kept it how it was, but just bleeped out, you know what I'm saying, certain parts.
Yeah.
So I did that. So that's like one method. You know what I'm saying? I said I can do that. I can just bleep it out. You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't really take away from the value of it.
Most definitely. Well, I actually want to go to break with one of your old throwback songs. Since it's Flashback Friday, we're going to go to break with Boomin' by Knick Gunna, and we'll have more of him on the way. So you actually are part Native American. Like literally, he's part Native American. So what American Indian group do you belong to?
I believe it's Cherokee. I think it's in whatever tribe was native to Arkansas.
Okay.
But the Native American side is on my mom's side, and her great grandmother her grandmother was a Native American from Arkansas. So I don't really like. That's pretty much all I know.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I guess it's so far down the line that I don't really, you know what I'm saying, have too many ties to it just from what she told me.
It's dope that you do incorporate some of that in your videos.
Yeah.
One of your videos, good good pleasure. We're gonna call it. Good pleasure. We're gonna call it. Good pleasure. You had a whole Native American theme. Since you do mention you had kids earlier, were any of your kids in that video?
Yeah.
Okay, which one?
My oldest son.
Okay, which one? One of the babies. Which one was it? Yours?
He had like a little curly boy.
That was him. I knew it. I was like, that kind of looks like Nick, but I didn't know if you had kids or not.
Yeah, that was him.
So why do you like to incorporate some of that in your music?
Like I said, I just try to keep. I want my music to be a reflection of my true life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I try to incorporate a lot of things that's going on in my life or my background or my personality. I like to, put it in the music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Infuse the music with it. You know what I'm saying? It just, I feel like it gives it more artistic value. You
That
know
is
what I'm saying?
true.
So, and I like with these videos, like I told you, I come up with a lot of the video concepts. And it's like, I might just be laying in my bed at night and, the song, and I know I want to shoot a video for this particular song. So it's just on my mind, like, well, what I'm gonna do, and like whatever comes to my mind, I just kind of run with it. And like with that song, I don't know why, but that's what came to my mind. Like, I want this to be like set in like you know what I'm saying, pre like Civil War era. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, and just like I want to be an Indian. Just riding through the woods on a horse, like, and just see this Indian girl.
That's a very deep concept for something that erotic. Now, you also were on a horse. Do you ride horses for real?
Nah, man. When I was little, like my mama, she had me with. I used to have like little horseback riding lessons, like on the river. They had like a little stable on the river behind the zoo, and I did that when I was little. But I mean, I don't have no like this. That was my first time on a horse since a kid.
Did
like,
it have a saddle? Because
yeah,
authentically, American Indians, they were just
riding.
Yeah.
But I ain't that tough. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to fall off the horse.
I was like, he gonna keep it real authentic. He don't even have a saddle.
But yeah, that was my first time. But I mean, I liked it, man. You know what I'm saying? After I rode that horse, I was like, man, I kind of thought about, you say you could actually buy a horse and, you know what I'm saying, keep them in a stable and, just pay rent or whatever and just ride them whatever you want to. I actually thought about doing that, because it was fun.
You should invest in it. We need some more black jockeys.
Right.
Now, who has been your most influential people that you looked up to? Like, what are your musical influences?
Well, I told you, the one who got me rapping was Pac. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, coming up, to be honest, I didn't even listen to a lot of Cash. I listened to Pac. And then when the No Limit and Cash Money era came, I listened to No Limit and I listened to Cash Money. But I was always like more of a Cash Money fan. Yeah. More than No Limit. You know what I'm saying?
Why?
But that's a good question. I don't know. I was just, I guess around the time when Cash Money came out, I was more into music.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I was just, and like I said, BG, he was a hot boy. He's from the same neighborhood as me. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I, had more ties to Cash Money or whatever. But I mean, even Baby, like Birdman, he's from the same hood as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to be by his mama house and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I had more ties to Cash Money. But I mean, like growing up, like it was just really Pac and Cash Money. You know what I'm saying? I never really listened to Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? I remember I was going to school and like when the Blueprint dropped and all that, and like Cats was like listening to it. I'm like, man, I just can't listen to this cat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just couldn't relate to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I listen to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But back then, it's like, I just wanted to listen to something that I could relate to. I feel like I could relate to Pac.
Yeah.
And I could relate to Cash Money.
It's cool that you say Pac was one of the people that got you into rapping. I feel like Pac is an introductory hip-hop artist, like when people are trying to get into hip-hop. Now, how have you learned from those artists?
Well, like I said, I pride myself on my versatility, and that's like I kind of I feel like I picked that up from listening to Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Because he could come on a song and just be hardcore. You know what I'm saying? Talk about the streets. Then he could come on a song and have like, you know, Brenda's had a baby. You know,
Say baby. I don't know if y'all caught that, but
but yeah, you know, like he could, you know, tap into, you know, social, you know, issues or whatever, and political issues. You know what I'm saying? I eventually want to get to that point. You know, I haven't done it yet, but I want to do that as well. But I feel like I definitely picked that up from Tupac. You know what I'm saying? And like as far as Cash Money, like, you know, Cash Money was just straight New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? So I picked up that from them. Like, you know, to be honest, like a lot of people, a lot of feedback that I get from New Orleans is like they kind of they tell me that they like that I sound like New Orleans because I feel like in the past few years we kind of New Orleans as a city kind of lost its identity in the rap game, and it's a lot of artists locally that they're trying to sound like other cats. You know what I'm saying? Like from other places. And so it's a lot of cats on the local scene that they don't really sound New Orleans. They're trying to sound like, you know, your little Uzi Verts and your Lil Yachty's and, you know, Meek Mills and Futures and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't sound authentic. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like my sound when you listen to me, it's gonna sound rooted in New Orleans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? New Orleans culture.
And that's true. Right now, the thing that's big is trap, mumble rap, things like that. I think Big Frida's the only one real representing, you know, still representing that New Orleans sound.
Yeah,
I love me some Big Frida.
Yeah, Frida doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm glad to see on that platform.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember seeing Frida going out to the club and seeing Frida just get on the mic and rock the whole club. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I can see like, you know what I'm saying, her on that type of platform, you know, where people are, you know, accepting her nationwide. It's cool.
It is.
But I feel like, you know, that's just one aspect of New Orleans music. You know, we got a lot of different other sounds, you know what I'm saying, that I kind of, you know, hopefully I want to see come to the, you know, the forefront.
I definitely would like to see that as well. Now, I am a one person who loves games. I like to play games with my guests. And I want to play a game with you called Long Time Gunnin'. I thought that was funny. You know, like long time coming. Anyway, I like puns. All right. Now, let's start with the first one. How many tattoos do you have, and what do they represent?
I don't even know how many tattoos I got. I just started getting them, and like I always got like big pieces. Like, I didn't really get like, you know, small pieces.
Yeah.
I just got like big pieces. And a lot of them, they just kind of I don't know. To be honest, I got these tattoos. I haven't got a tattoo in like, it's been like over 10 years.
Probably don't have any more space.
I got space, you know what I'm saying? But I just ain't got none. Like, I actually was thinking about getting them removed. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really? Why?
I told you like earlier we spoke on, like I just kind of want to reinvent myself. You know what I'm saying? And that was like just kind of something that was in my head about reinventing myself. Just kind of getting rid of the tattoos. I also like, you know, I kind of want to pursue a career in film.
Okay.
You know, I did that for a little while in New Orleans. And now that I'm out here in LA, I kind of want to get back on it. And I feel like, you know, the tattoos kind of put boundaries on the roles you could play.
That's smart. It sometimes does limit you.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's like, some of these casting calls, it might be for roles like as a inmate, a prison inmate, but then they say no visible tattoos.
Because they want to draw it on you, like, I guess.
Yeah, but it would seem like more genuine if it's like real tattoos.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it might be like a gangster for this particular role with like no visible tattoos. And I'm like, well, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like,
now I'm a question if the people who have tattoos in prison and shows, if it's really their tattoos.
Exactly. I mean, I did a movie in like 2012 with 50 Cent and Val Kilmer. It was called Blood Out. And you know, I had my tattoos, but they actually drew more tattoos on me. Like, I had a soldier sign right here. I had like the teardrops. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they do it's cosmetic. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it is cosmetic.
Okay. All right. Master P or Lil Wayne?
Wayne.
Beignets or powdered donuts?
Beignets.
Braids or man buns?
Damn, braids or man, but I'm gonna be honest, I can't decide because I rock both.
I know.
I might throw it in a man bun, you know what I'm saying? And one day I might feel like, you know what I'm saying, get braided up, get some Chopper City Plat. So I don't know, I can't decide on that one.
Okay, so it's a tie. All right, so I'm gonna set the mood for you. It's Mardi Gras in Nola. You can only bring 3 things. What are you bringing?
Mardi Gras in New Orleans. Liquor is the first thing that I'm bringing. Damn. I mean, really, that's all you need. Like the Mardi Gras, the carnival gonna supply everything else you need. You know what I'm saying?
Is it free though? I thought you would have to buy it.
Not well. I mean, it's a carnival, but it's like the good times. You know what I'm saying? It's just free going to the parades and stuff. But I mean, just if you go to New Orleans, try the different drinks. You know, they got daiquiris, they got hurricanes, they got hand grenades. You know what I'm saying? Of course, try the food. Get you a po' boy from Jeans. You know what I'm saying? Get you some gumbo, jambalaya, crawfish etouffee. You know, something like that. And if you're down there, like, you know, catch a second line parade or a DJ, you know what I'm saying? If you're feeling kind of risky, you know, sometimes it might be a little dangerous, depending on, you know what I'm saying, what area city.
So take precautions.
Yeah, of course, you know what I'm saying? But that's just like anywhere in the country, you know what I'm saying? But,
True.
But, you know, like, yeah, if you go down there, I encourage people to see the real culture, you know what I'm saying? Like second line parades and stuff like that.
True. It is cool. I didn't even know they had second line parades. Everybody's just so focused on Mardi Gras. Like,
right,
that's
for the tourists, man.
You
like,
know,
they got
main attraction.
Bourbon Street and stuff, but you got to go outside of that. You got to go on like Frenchman is in my opinion, is like the Bourbon Street for locals.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Frenchman Street. And like you gotta catch a second line parade. You know what I'm saying? The second line parades is, you know what I'm saying, it's just a bunch of people just marching and just dancing and drinking and going through different neighborhoods, projects, you know what I'm saying, and just having a good time. You feel me?
Have you been to Delphine Lalaurie house? The Delphine, it's a historical place in, I believe, Louisiana. Delphine Lalaurie, look her up. I just want to know if you've been there, but apparently not. Now, yeah. So what's next for Knick Gunna?
Man, I'm just trying to keep creating, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to take my sound to the next level. I'm trying to explore my voice, you know, explore my capabilities and just create like a new sound. I want to put New Orleans on the map, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's kind of like it's a big buzz in the city right now, especially, you know, kind of with Drake. You know, like Drake is kind of, you know, taking some of our sounds and kind of put it on a bigger platform. You know what I'm saying? You know, I appreciate him for actually like giving credit for, you know, what he's doing. But I feel like it's drawing more attention to the actual sounds of New Orleans, like the bounce sound, you know what I'm saying, and the rap sound or whatever. So, I mean, I just want to kind of contribute to that, to putting everything on the forefront, you know what I'm saying, and bringing New Orleans music back, you know, where it needs to be, you know what I'm saying, and showcasing it to the world. But I mean, as far as me individually, I'm just enjoying the ride. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just enjoying the ride. Like, I just want to keep creating and putting out music that people love. You know what I'm saying?
And it's dope that you're trying to bring the sound back to where it's originally from an actual artist who's from there.
Right.
You know, because it is true. Drake does take very popular sounds and he makes them his own and it puts them on a bigger stage, but it's always good to hear it from the roots, you know?
Right.
Now, I want to thank you for coming. It was very fun having you. So, people out there, the time has come. How can people find you and your music?
Oh, man, you can find me on pretty much any social media platform at Knick Gunna. That's KNICK GUNNA, like the New York Knicks Gunna. You know what I'm saying? That's my Instagram. That's my Twitter. That's Facebook. That's YouTube. That's SoundCloud. You know, at Knick Gunna. Check out my project on Apple Music. Well, really, it's on all streaming platforms. Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify. Saint Knick Gunna XIII is on SoundCloud as well. You know, check that out. Stream that, download it. You know, and just follow me on like my Instagram and Twitter, and you know, I'll keep everybody updated with what I got going on.
Most definitely. You heard it from the man himself. You can also find me, your girl Angelica Cheyenne, the Chocolate Diva, on Instagram at simply the Chocolate Diva, and you can find me on Twitter at Angelica CC Diva. Capitalize the A, the double C's, and the D. It has been great today. Thank you once again for coming.
Thank
you. Since it is Friday, I'm going to let you pick the Flashback Friday song of the week.
Flashback Friday song. Oh, let me see. Dang. You know, of course, it's gonna be some New Orleans.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? How about what about? Huh? Yeah, hot boys. I need a hot girl.
Okay, well, he's picked it, y'all. I need a hot girl. Okay. So, have a happy Friday, everybody.
Take it and bend, shake it down, break it down. With me and a friend, biggity bounce, slide, ride, work that cat to the right, push it down, push it up, boom, you dynamite, lick it up like ice cream, nigga. You know she make me bomb, rock your bell boy. See, I'm loving when we thuggin', baby, just don't stop. You can wobbly wobble, try it like it's hot. Eat it up and eat it up, love, that's your dick. And if you ain't from the ghetto, then ride out, bitch. Arms, legs, backs, and breasts. You better read a fucking tax, nigga, man.